In the previous video tutorial, we saw how we try to run a bulk detection toward our existing records based on the duplicate rule we have defined in this scenario for the contact entity. So I will continue from the last video where basically we captured the duplicates, and the next natural step is to merge the detected duplicates. So once the app has detected the duplicates, what I will have to do is I will click on the Merge Duplicates button here, and this will open a new window. At the moment, I'm running in a trial mode. The trial mode is limited for 10 records. However, this window, it contains of two main sections, right side and the left side. The right side is all the attributes for the contact entity that are on the related to contact entity. I can so the concept of this window is I would like to define my master, and once I have done that, I would like to tell the app which data would like to move from the duplicate record to the master record. I can choose all, or I can search to specify instead of scrolling up and down, or I can say the attributes I want to merge to the master. In this case, I'm just going to select all. And on the left side here, I have the option to paste an fetch XML code and try to merge it by that fetch XML code. But in order to make it easy for our customers, we have built in different logic to help you define your master without typing single line of code. In other words, what we can do is, the way we can define the master is we can choose if the master, for example, should be the record that is created first or the record that is modified first. It could also be the opposite, of course. Or this is also a very popular choice, the record that contains least or most data. In other words, you can decide that the master is the record that contains most activities or most populated fields. So if you choose that, then the master will be the record that contains most data or least to most. In other words, most of the customers choose the first option, where they select oldest to newest. So in this way, if not necessarily is the only right choice to define the master, but it's one of the popular choices, saying that the master that is, if you have two contacts, one created in 2010 and one 2015, the record that is created in 2010 will be the master. Then in that scenario, that will be the choice, the first option here. Or if you want the record that contains most populated fields, then you would choose number three options. So once you do that, we don't only take the duplicate record and the data from the duplicate record and map it to your master. We also give you the option to choose related records. But obviously you need to watch out, because we're dealing with data. Some of the Microsoft CRM functionality, it requires that you have we, before we can change the status of the record, we open the record and in order to be able to merge it with another record. And so a lot of things happening in the background. We definitely want you to be aware of this. This is also, it's marked with red, but in this scenario, it's a sandbox environment, so I don't really care. It's a dummy data. I'm choosing everything here, not only taking the attributes from the contact record to the contact master record, but also taking everything that is related, both including one-to-many relations and many-to-many relations. But obviously, you would be able to select and pick the ones that make sense for your organization or business, right? And just try to make a skip error thing here. The same way I had on the bulk detection, I can also utilize my background service if I have installed it on a PC or on a server. in order to schedule a background merge task. In this case, because I don't have many records, I only have 4 records, I will just go ahead and make my merge based on the selection rule called I want the record to be the master record to be the record that is created first. Once I have defined that, you can see I get my last warning here, and once I do that, on my right side I have a log file which gives me a quick overview on what it's doing. And as you can see that it has taken these 2 records and merged based on this rule, and now it's completed within few seconds. So this is a very basic example. Of course, we have customers as banks and pension companies that are running this app towards their thousands of millions of records, and if that's the case, then it will of course take a little bit more time to merge, but I hope you get the idea. So once I do that, now that we have merged, I can just go and close my windows, or I can just go back to my contact here, and if you can see that when I refresh my window, I should only have the 2 records left, which was the master records defined in my rule. I hope this video gave a good overview on how you can merge records. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us to support@takedeo.dk. Thank you.